I can summarize data and compute the measures of central tendency. Let's read together. 1, 2, 3. I can summarize data and compute the measures of central tendency. So, measures of central tendency, this was a topic from last year. It's going to be more of a review. But the second half of the lesson, we're going to focus on a new portion of statistics that I want to show you today. So hopefully this will be a good review, but also a good stepping stone to move on to the next piece. Okay. So, what are measures of central tendency? Here we go. Measures of central tendency are commonly used measures of center for a set of numerical data that represents a central topic value of the data set. First of all, central means something that you focus on. So when they give you a set of data, and they give you numbers to focus on, they're trying for you to look at data in a specific piece of that data. For example, this data, write it down, and the example, this is not measures of central tendency, but I'm going to use this data to show you what are the measures of central tendency. So, they give us 75, 75, 85, 95, and 100. So, the first measure of central tendency is called the mean. Mean. Check this out. Mean is the same thing as saying finding the average. To find the mean, look at the operation, look up. By looking at it, tell your neighbor what to do, please, to find the mean of a set of data. Very good. I heard you add all the numbers and divide by the number of numbers that they give you, right? So here, if you notice, I added 75 plus 75 plus 85 plus 95 plus 100 and divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So that's 430 divided by 5. That's 86. That's my mean. Does everybody see what I mean? No? Too fast? All right. So mean is the average. Everybody got it? All right. So we know how to find the mean. And once again, this is more like a review. The second piece, or the second measure of central tendency, is known as the median. The median, how do we find the median? Once we arrange the data from lowest to greatest, the number in the center of the data is the median. So in this case, what would be our median? 85. So make sure you draw an arrow and point to that, or circle it. That's our median. However, last year I'm pretty sure they gave you some that had, instead of giving you 5 numbers, they gave you 6, and there was no number in the middle. Therefore, you took the 2 numbers closest to the middle, you added those and divided by 2. Yes, you did. And we're going to do that today also, just to refresh. And the last measure of central tendency is the following: the mode. Mode means what number occurs the most. Which number occurs the most here? 75. Now, mode is the same as the root word moda, which means fashion. For example, let me give you an example of applying it to everyday stuff. Sometime back, a movie came out, Hunger Games. When it first came out, all of a sudden, everyone, just about, had a shirt or the book or some coins, or cards. Everything was about what? Hunger Games. That was the mode of the time. Does that make sense? So therefore, what occurred most often, or that we saw most often, was the mode. Now, there's going to be times that there are going to be 2 things that happen at the same time. For example, what if I had another 85 here? What would be our mode? 75 and 80. If I had an 85, then we would have 2 modes, 75 and 85. And how does that work in the real world? Sometime back, I think a movie came out on the that series about the werewolves and stuff. What was it called? What is it called? Twilight. But at the same time, there was another movie of Harry Potter that came out. I think it was one of the last ones. So I would be walking around, and some had like Harry Potter stuff. But then I would go somewhere else, they had what? Twilight stuff. So those 2 things were going on at the time, so guess what was the mode? Twilight and Harry Potter. It's the same idea. Okay? So, did everybody write these down? Non-example. Once again, a non-example is a range. In the past, I'm pretty sure your teacher showed you how to find the range. The range, you find it by taking the highest data, which is what, 100? What is the lowest data? 75, and you subtract them. That's the range of the data. Well, this one is not part of the measures of central tendency, even though you might have thought because you did it all together. Remember that? You guys found the mean, median, mode, and the range? Well, this is not part of the measure of central tendency. But we are going to be finding the range today also, but I just want to clarify that that one is not part of the measures of central tendency. Everybody with me? And then at the beginning I specified that this data is also not part of the measure of central tendency. This is just regular data. What is the measure of central tendency? The mean, the median, and the mode. Everybody got it? So therefore, what is the most critical attribute for this? That it has to be 3 different measures. We already know what they are, mean, median, and mode. And what do they show? Typical values of data. How we doing? Good, Mr. Yu. All right, good. Steps. You already have steps. Oh, just really quick definitions for what I just spoke about. The mean is the average. How do we find that? By adding everything and divided by the number of data. The median is found by arranging everything from least to greatest, and it's found in the middle. The mode is what happens more often. And the range is subtracting the greatest from the lowest. Now the mode, really quick note, if we have 6 numbers and 2 of them are 15, 2 of them are 20, and 2 of them are 30, which would be the mode? All of them. But since all of them can't be the mode, that means there is no mode. Does that make sense? 2 is fine, but but when all of them have the same amount of occurrences, then there is no mode. You don't have to copy it because it's in the back of your Cornell notes. I wrote it down there for you. Boom. Just like that. Everybody got it? Steps. Step 1, we're going to organize data from least to greatest. We're going to find mean, median, and mode, and range. From there, we're going to find the upper quartile, lower quartile, identify the standard deviation, and summarize. Now, step 4, guys, standard deviation, I'm going to let you know. A lot of students in college level, they struggle with standard deviation. What a trip, huh? But hopefully we do this and we clarify it as much as we can today. Okay? All right, here we go. So, pens down, eyes up here. Let me go over this one. So, first of all, to find mean, median, and mode. Step 1, everyone, what do I do? From least to greatest. So it's 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 7, and 8. Just pay attention. Relax. Here we go. So first step is done. Step 2. I'm going to find the easiest measure is the mode because I can actually see which one repeats. Which one repeats the most? 2. So we're done with that one. From there I go to the median. Median is the second easiest one to find. How many numbers do I have? It looks like 8 of them. What is half of that? 4. So that means we got 4 on this side, 4 on this side. Do we have a number here in the middle? There is none, right? Therefore, since we don't have any number in the middle, we're going to take the 2 numbers closest to the middle, 2 plus 4, and we're going to divide by 2 because we added 2 numbers. So this is 6 divided by 2, so the median is 3. Everybody following? The third central tendency is the mean. I need to add all of these. 8 plus 7 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. That is equal to 30. And then from there, 30 divided by 8. We do the division. 30 divided by 8. That's 324. Subtract, that's 6. Add a decimal point. That's 7 times 8, that's 56. Left over 4 out of 0, that's 5. So my mean is 3.75. Does everybody see what I mean? And what is the last thing I'm going to compute that is not part of the measure of central tendency? The range. And the range, I take the highest value, subtract it from the lowest value, and that's my range, which is 7. How we doing? Good? Ready to try one by yourself? All right, so copy this next one underneath the steps on your Cornell notes. Example 1B. Yes. They're there so you can write on the lines. Example 1B, and write, find the mean, median, mode, and range of the data set. And they give you 6, 4, 3, 5, 2, 5, 1, and 8. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and push the screen so that you can send me your answers once you compute all those, please. And just press send at the end, okay? But in the meantime, I'm going to leave on the screen the last example so you can have it there as reference. And go. So, now that we found the measure of central tendency and the range, check this out. That works also really well with word problems, because that's mainly why we want to use all that. So therefore, well, what's happening? That's all right, because I got it back up. Bam! So, example 2. 2A. It says 6 members of the cross-country team ran certain miles in a week. Find the measure of central tendency. So, if they give us this data, according to the problem, we know what to do. Is that correct? Whoops, sorry. So check this out. So the first thing I would arrange this from least to greatest, 3, 4, 5, 5. I skipped the 4? Yeah, I did that on purpose to see if you're paying attention. And 6. So, according to the mode, what would my mode be? 4 and 5. The median would be what? 4 plus 5, that's 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. The mean would be adding all these and dividing by 2. So 9 and 9, 18, 24, 27. 27 divided by 6. Okay? 27 divided by 6, that's 4, 24. 3, add a 0, bless you, 4.5, and the range is 6 minus 3, that is 3. So look at the question though. It says, which measure best describes this data? What data? What are they talking about? That 6 members ran miles for the week. So which of this data would best represent what they're talking about, what the students ran? Yeah, the mean, because it's the what? The average. So therefore, for certain situations, they're going to ask you for that. Some others are going to say there was a survey taken, and here's the numbers. Which was the number that came up the most according to the survey? Does that make sense? So which one would we choose then? The mode, because that would be the one that occurs more often. Everybody with me? So depending on the situation. So do this next one by yourself, please. Example 2B. 2B. Copy it on your paper. You don't have to copy the words. Just let me read it. Example 2B says, the data shows the number of dollars each of the 10 members of the cheerleading team raised in a week. Find the measure of central tendency. What measure of central tendency best describes this data? And it gives you 15, 15, 15, 15, 20, 20, 40, 60, 60, 70. And it looks like they already arranged it from least to greatest. So, there you go. I helped you guys out already. Bam! So do that one by yourself. See what you get. Go. Okay, 30 seconds. Should be this was an easy one, so you should be just about done. Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, 30 seconds. How comfortable do you feel with these? 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest? Go. Hurry up, please. Yeah. I got some 4s, some 5s, 4s, 5s, 3s, 4, 5s, 4, 5s. All right, not bad. So class average, we got about 84% with 4s and 5s. Not bad. All right, let's move on. So this is where I wanted to get to, the standard deviation. Standard deviation is a formula given to show the distances between the central tendencies, which means how far apart are certain data from another. Therefore, this is the formula that they give us. Most of these symbols we already know. We've used x sub 1, x sub 2, and all those. Remember that? We've used n before, yes. The only symbol that you haven't seen is this one, x with a little bar on top. Do you guys see that? That's a symbol for the word mean, one of the central tendencies. So what does it mean? That x to the little bar on top is the mean. Okay? Does everybody see what I mean? All right, so what we're going to do in the back, because it's not going to fit in the front, I want you to copy this table, please. This table is going to help us to find the standard deviation if we go step by step using this table one at a time. Okay, so make 3 columns. One column, label it data value. The second column is deviation from mean. The third column is squared deviation. And then right now we'll go over this together so you know what I mean. Get it? Be nice. 30 seconds. Go. All right, here we go. So here they give us the values of the highest temperatures so far in April, and they give us 5 of them: 77, 86, 84, 93, and 90. What is our first step always? Arrange from lowest to highest. So let's do that on the first row, on the first column. 77, 84, 86, 90, and 93. Notice that it's the same thing that we did earlier, and now it's in an organized fashion, right? Once we do that, let's find the mean. Do we know how to find the mean? We add all of these up, and then we divide by what? How many are there? 5. You have a calculator? Do that, please. See what you get. So then add all of them, then press equal, and then from there divide, and then 5. Who has it? $86. Thank you. That is correct. And write that right underneath. And why do we need that number? Because that's going to go with the second column. For the second column, we're going to write the values again, the whole thing, 77, 84, 86, 90, and 93. And now we're going to subtract from all of those the mean. Minus 86, bless you, that's negative 9. Minus 86, that's negative 2. Minus 86, that's 0. Minus 86, that is 4. Minus 86, that is 7. Does everybody understand what we did here? I took the same numbers and I subtracted the mean from all the numbers. And this is the process that you need to do to find the standard deviation. Next step, we're going to write the answer, or what we got as a difference from all of these, and write it here, negative 9, and square it. What is negative 9 squared? 81. What is negative 2 squared? 4. What is 0 squared? What is 4 squared? 16. And what is 7 squared? 49. Are we there so far? All right. Once we have that, look at the bottom of that column. What does it say? Find the mean. So we take these. Do we know how to find the mean using these data? What do? Add them and divide by how many? 5. So 81 plus 5, plus 4, that's 85. Plus 16, that's 101. Plus 49, that's 150. Divided by 5, that's 30. Hold on. Press C on your calculator, and I want you to press square root of x so that you can take the square root. The last step, once we have this mean, we're going to take the square root of that mean, which is square root of 30. And what is square root of 30? 5 point, what is it? 5 point what? 47. I'll stop right there. This is my standard deviation. So basically, remember that formula I showed you with the square root and all those x sub 1, x sub 2, and all that? We did that using this table. So here goes the steps again. We write our data in order, find the mean. From there, we write the data again, subtract the mean. Third step, we take that difference and square it, and then we find the mean again, and at the end, square root, and that's our standard deviation. Everybody got it? All right, so for home plate for tonight, home plate for tonight is found on pages 436 and 437. There's tutoring today. If I don't see you in tutoring, see you guys tamales. Exit out of the screens. Have a good one. See you guys tamales.